All right, it's number 14. One line had a slope of 3/8, the other one had a slope of negative 8/3. They were negative reciprocals, or you can say their product is negative 1. Therefore, the lines were perpendicular to one another. Negative reciprocals, or the product being negative 1. If the lines had been parallel, the slopes would have been identical. All right, so number 15, we've got 6x plus 2y equals 8. And the second line is 9x plus 3y equals 14. All right, so solving for y, I'm going to subtract 6x on both sides. Subtract 6x. So these guys would cancel out. 2y is equal to a minus 6x plus 8. I'm going to divide everything through by 2 here. And I don't care about this y-intercept. What I need to know is the slope, all right? So this is going to be a minus 3x. Yeah, that's a positive 4, but that's what I'm concerned about. Now, what about the other line? What's its slope? Solving for y. Subtracting 9x on both sides. 3y would be equal to a minus 9x plus 14. Subtract 9x, subtract 9x. And then I want to divide through by 3. Here again, I could care less about the y-intercept. 3's cancel out. Y is equal to minus 9 divided by positive 3 is a minus 3x. How do these slopes compare? Minus 3 is equal to minus 3. Therefore, the lines are parallel to one another. Identical slopes. Parallel lines. Number 15. Number 16. 16. Let me see here. What are my two lines? My two lines are 16. Alright, so what do we got here? 4x minus 2y is equal to 11. And we got 4x plus 3y equals 11. Alright, subtracting 4x on both sides. Subtract 4x, subtract 4x. This should be an equal sign. Minus 2y equals minus 4x plus 11. I'll write that a little better. Alright, so dividing through by negative 2. And let's see what we get here. Y is equal to minus over minus is positive. Here again, this 11 halves, minus 11 halves. I could care less about this y-intercept. This is what I want. The slope is 2. And what about the second line? Subtracting 4x, we get 3y equals minus 4x plus 11. Subtract 4x here, subtract 4x there. Divide through by 3. And we get y is equal to a minus 4/3 x plus 11/3. So how does 2 compare with minus 4/3? Well, they're not equal, and the product of these two is not negative 1. They're not negative reciprocals, so nothing's going on here. Neither. Number 16, nothing's happening. Number 16. Number 17. If I can find some more paper here. Number 17. Y is equal to 6 minus x, better written as y equals minus x plus 6. So I know the slope here is a minus 1. A minus sign means the same as a minus 1. And the other line is y is equal to x plus 6. The slope here is 1. All right, 1x. How does negative 1 compare with minus? Well, how does positive 1 compare with negative 1? Well, the product of these two is negative 1, or they're negative reciprocals of one another. Negative 1 times positive 1, negative 1, therefore the lines are perpendicular. Their products are negative 1. All right. Number 18, he wants the equation of a line that's perpendicular to that line and goes through the slope. So here again, what we need to know to come up with an equation of a line is a slope and the a point, a slope and a point. All right, so he says that this line is going to be perpendicular to this line, my new line. My new line goes through the point. negative 4, negative 1. Now, what's the slope of the line he's given me? Well, I got to solve this for y to find the slope. All right, adding 7x on both sides. So I'd have 9y equals 7x plus 19. I added 7x here, and I added 7x there. All right, dividing through by 9. Here again, I don't need to know this y-intercept. So I get 7/9 x plus 19 over 9. So here's the slope of the line he gives me. His perpendicular buddy will have a slope that's the negative reciprocal. Well, the negative of a positive is a negative, and the reciprocal of 7/9 is 9/7. So now I know the slope of the line he wants, and I know a point. So we're going right back to the previous ones, 15, 16, and 17. All right. Y is equal to mx plus b. I know the slope of my line is to be the negative reciprocal of that, the line he gave me. So y is equal to minus 9/7 x plus b. So I'm going to take a peek here and see if I have any lines that have a slope of what my line is supposed to have, a negative 9/7. And number 18 is only one that has, well, that has a negative 9/7. This one has a positive 9/7. Can't be that. That's a negative 7/9. Now, this has a slope of negative 9/7, but the y-intercept here is, the b value is 0. I'm pretty sure. Number 18 is going to be, it's going to be letter C. But let me just kind of finish this off to show you. The point that this line was supposedly going through, number 18, was negative 4, negative 1. So in place of y here, I'd have negative 1 equal to minus 9/7 times a negative 4 plus b. I have negative 1 equal to 36/7 plus b. If I subtracted 36/7 on both sides, negative 1 would be a negative 7 over 7. Subtract 36/7, and this would be a negative 43 over 7. Negative 43, yeah, there it is, negative 43 over 7. Negative 43 over 7. But I had an idea with letter C, it wasn't B. To start off with, number 19, same idea, is to be perpendicular to this. So here again, to come up with an equation of a line, I need the slope and a point. I got the point. The slope of my new line will have a slope that's the negative reciprocal of the line it's perpendicular to. The question is, what's the slope of this line he's given me? I got to solve this equation for y. So minus 5x minus 2y equals 15. Adding 5x on both sides, or simply bringing this over. It's negative here. It ends up on the other side as a positive. It's another way of thinking about it. And dividing everything through by a negative 2. And y is equal to positive over negative is a negative. Now, I could care less about this negative 15/2. That doesn't play. I want to know the slope of the line he gave me, negative 5/2. So my line is to have a slope that's the negative of this, and it's the reciprocal. The negative of a negative is a positive, and the reciprocal of 5/2 is 2/5. Notice, 2/5 times a negative 5/2 would equal a negative 1. This times this negative 1. Negative reciprocal. All right, so I got a point. I got the slope. Y is equal to mx plus b. So my y value, 5 is equal to my slope, which I know to be 2/5, the negative reciprocal of minus 5/2, times my x plus b. So I get 5 equal to negative 2/5 plus b. Let's see, 5 is the same as 25/5 if I add 2/5 on both sides. These guys cancel out, and then I have b equal to 27 over 5, 27. So I'm looking for a line that has a slope of 2/5 and has a y-intercept of 27 over 5. Alright, 2/5. Alright, so number 19, what's the line that has a slope of 2/5 and a y-intercept of 27 over 5? Well, there it is. As a matter of fact, the minute I found out here that the slope of my new line had to be the negative reciprocal of this, once I knew that the slope of this new line had to be 2/5, there was only one equation here that had the slope of 2/5. I didn't even have to solve for the y-intercept. This was 5/2. That was a negative 2/5, and that was even crazier. The slope here was 1/2. So I could have circled letter A a couple of minutes ago. All right. Number 20, the point goes through. It goes through this point, and it's perpendicular to this. Now, what's perpendicular to? This is a vertical line that goes through x equals -8. What's perpendicular to vertical lines? This is a vertical line. Are horizontal lines. Horizontal lines are always y equals something. Alright, so what's the y value here? Y equals 2. So my answer is, what's perpendicular to this vertical line is this horizontal line, which is always in the format of y equals something, but there's the y value right there. 20, letter B. Now, this here is a horizontal line. What's perpendicular to a horizontal line is a vertical line. Vertical lines are always in the format of x equals something. What's the x value here? X equals 4. Well, there it is. X equals 4. Vertical lines are perpendicular to horizontal lines, and horizontal lines are perpendicular to vertical lines. So that is that. I hope that helps.